Hi guys, it's Dave with Online BizFacts, and today I wanted to talk about decision making in business. And I'm going to talk a little bit about something called resulting, and it's kind of a fallacy that a lot of people fall into, and that is if I make a decision and it turns out good, then that means that it was a good decision. I want to caution everybody against necessarily making that assumption. It's again, it's called resulting, and you're basing your evaluation of the decision that you made based on the result that you achieved. And we're getting this information from Annie Duke, who's a poker player. And if any of you play poker or know poker, you've heard of Annie. She's a professional poker player, and this comes from her book, Thinking in Bets. And I'm going to put a link to her book in the description below. So if you want to check it out, I do highly recommend you get it. But this is one of the things that she cautions about. And being a poker player, for those of you who aren't, I'm going to just give you a quick rundown. Texas Hold'em is a game where you try to make the best 5-card hand that you can. You'll start out with 2 cards face down. Those are your hole cards. Those are what you have in your hand all the time. So those are your cards. You can think of that as your advantages. So in business, if your advantages are that you produce a product cheaper than your competition, or you provide better customer service, or you're better at delivery of that product than your competitors. These are your strengths, your hole cards that you have. And we're going to use the rest of the market to make the best 5-card hand that we can for poker and for business. So after you get your hole cards, you place there's a round of betting that goes on based on your hole cards, how strong they are. At that point, the dealer will put up 3 cards face up. This is called the flop. Those are community cards everybody can use. So hopefully those community cards helped your hand. They strengthened your hand because you're trying to get the best 5-card hand you can. At that point, there's another round of betting. And after that, the dealer will put up 1 card that is called the turn. Now, that card can either help your hand or not. So there's another round of betting. And then finally, the dealer will turn up 1 final card. This is called the river. And that completes the number of cards that are community cards. So there's another round of betting. And again, you're trying to use those 2 hole cards plus 3 more cards that are community cards to make your best 5-card hand. At that point, after the betting's done, you turn up your cards and the best hand wins the pot. Sorry. This was where I was going with that. Sorry. Your best starting hand in poker is 2 aces, and your worst starting hand in poker is a 7-2 offsuit. Okay? Now, if you're going heads up against someone and you have a 7-2 offsuit and they have an ace-ace, you're a big underdog, but it doesn't mean you're going to lose. You could win that hand with a 7-2. In fact, you will win that hand about 11.7% of the time. You will win that hand against an ace-ace. The worst hand in poker will beat the best hand in poker about 11 98.7% of the time in a heads-up match. So if you play that 7 deuce and you win against the ace, was that a good decision? That's not a good decision. It doesn't matter if you won. Don't use the result as the only barometer of whether the decisions you made were good. Just as if you had the ace and you played and lost against the 7 deuce, that would still be a good decision because you're going to win 89% of the time. Just because you didn't win this one time doesn't mean that it wasn't a good decision. So that's the thing we need to think about in business, is we need to be able to think about the odds, our various decisions, the outcomes that are probable from our hole cards, the things that we have that are unique to us, plus everything that's out in the market that's available to everyone, how we can integrate those two things to give us the best advantage, and how that stacks up to our competitors. Well, we can't know exactly what they have in their hole cards, what their benefits are that we don't have. We can make educated guesses based on how they react to the market conditions, those community cards that are out there for everyone to use. Again, this is from Andy Duke's book, Thinking in Bets. I'm going to put a link down in the description, and I really do recommend it. It's a great book. She's very, very smart, and it's worth thinking about. Hope this was clear. If it's not, please comment in the section down below, and I'll try to answer or maybe make another video. But basically what you want to be doing is always be playing the odds. And again, even if they don't work out for you, doesn't mean that it was the wrong decision. Playing that ace and losing against the 7-2, you still will win 89% of the time. So it's still the right decision to play, even though it didn't turn out that way. So resulting is what you have to just kind of be worried about, or just be aware of at least. You can take it into consideration, but it shouldn't be the only barometer of whether your decision was the right decision or not. All right, again, hope that was clear, and hope it was helpful. And come visit the website and leave comments, questions. I'm more than happy to deal with those and talk with those. And again, I never charge a fee if you want a consultation. All right, thanks.